Good morning and welcome to Frankfurt in Germany, where we will be flying over to London Heathrow in the Airbus A310 today. This is the first time this aircraft has featured on the channel. It will be coming up in live streams in future, but for now this is the second episode of a series of pre-recorded videos that I will be doing for the channel, showcasing just the most important parts or the most vital parts of a flight. I hope you do enjoy it. Let's get into the flight deck and get some systems set up and underway. In the A310 flight deck, cold and dark, I have already connected the jetway, because otherwise how would have we gotten into the flight deck? This is quite exciting for me too. This is the first time I've had a working EFB in an Xbox version of the aircraft, so I was quite happy that they have integrated all this. Means less use of the AI ATC, which we still will use for this flight for flight following, but otherwise most of our stuff is going to be done from here, which is pretty cool. So we'll come back to that. Let's get some power into the plane. So I've already got the ground power unit requested and connected via the EFB. All we need to do is come up here and get batteries on and external power as well. Awesome, that's pretty much it. No, it's not. It's a lot more to it than that. Okay, so down to the FMU, and we will import our flight plan, which I've already created in SimBrief. That's another thing with this aircraft is, I mean, you can manually create your flight plans, but if you do it in the Microsoft Flight Simulator planner at the start before you spawn in, it will not work. It won't come into this, I don't think anyway. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can't. So I've created a flight plan in SimBrief. If you want to know how to use SimBrief, just look up some videos on YouTube. I'm not making one myself. There's plenty of them there. That's how I learned. Anyway, so we have got some information we need to put in. So our flight name and number is DLH553. So we'll put that in there. Oh, I probably should clear that. There we go. Cost index for Lufthansa is, I forget, I'm going to have to look it up on the, where are we? Europe, Lufthansa 70 apparently. Now that's based on an A330-300 I think. I couldn't find cost indexes for the A310 that are current, of course. One thing I did forget is I need to align the IRS. I need to turn on the nav switches. There we go, so we've got align IRS has come up, so we can punch that. Usually that would take 10 to 15 minutes, I think, but I've got it set to instant because it just makes it a little bit more fun. Sometimes realism just takes a little bit too long. Okay, so now that that's in, we need to go to init. Oh, we're already in init. Next page, that's what we want. So we want to start filling in all this information. So back to the EFB to do that, we'll go to weights and balances. Now in our flight plan, which I will bring up on screen in a sec, I'll go here. So this is the flight plan here. It's not overly comprehensive. I have made sure that I haven't got all the information that I don't need. So it's about 19 pages long. We'll only use the the second and the third page for the plan. So the information I'm looking for is all in here in weight. So I'm going to start entering all that information into the EFB behind the iPad. I'll turn the iPad off. Where are we? 142 packs. So only 142 passengers, a bit of a light load. It can fly up to, oh, I've gone too far. 238 is the maximum for this aircraft. Cargo, 3.6. It's quite low as well, but that's because we only have the 142 passengers. Come on, get to 6, there we go. And fuel, 12.9. The fuel's a bit touchy, it doesn't seem to want to, oh, there's 12.9. Quite often that, that number won't go in exactly as you want it. Hit apply and that'll give us our centre of gravity. We click live because I don't want to change those. And now we want to start entering this information into the FMU. So where is our fuel? 12.9. That's right. It's one I do need to remember. So block fuel 12.9. This is all metric, by the way. So 12.9 ton. Zero fuel weight is 95.1 You'll round that down to 95.1. 95.1. Excellent, and then it will give us our takeoff weight as well. Our centre of gravity was down here, 26.5. So 26.5 for centre of gravity, and it was 0.8 on the trim, which looks like we do need to adjust. Last pilot just left it a mess. Go 0.8 on the trim. Awesome. Okay. Oh, nav upgraded. That's because we have aligned the IRSs. Clear that. And then we will go to flight plan. We'll click on our SID, or our departure, sorry, and then click SID. And according to, we are departing EDDF runway 18, and it looks like we'll be transitioning via Sobra, and then arrival is EGLL 27 left, transition via Logan. The star will be Logan. I don't know if I'm getting those terms right, don't slam me if I'm not. I'm not a pilot, remember? Anyway, so we'll be going from runway 18, and it will be the Sobra SID. Gotta find that. There it is, Sobra. Oh, I've got two of them. Oh no. Oh, what's that one there? It's meant to be 1L, so we'll use Sobra 2L, I think. And insert, we'll see what happens. Hopefully there's no discontinuities. There's not so far. Awesome. And then Heathrow, the star will be 27 left, and that is via Logan. There it is there. Logan, insert. Okay, we'll go through and check there's no discontinuities. Please don't be any. Awesome, there is not. But what I am going to do, this is a bit naughty, I'm going to take off, see we've got these vectors at the end. This is the go around. So we'd go around straight out, and then once we hit 1,080 feet, we would turn to 147 degrees and climb to 3,000. That is verified on the arrival plan. But I'm going to take those out because it messes with my head. So that can come out. Awesome. So I'll leave those in. If I need to go around, I can manually go around. That's fine. Okay, so flight plan is in. Let's go back to the EFB, and we will go into takeoff and runway length. This is cool. This automatically populates the runway length. The surface, is it wet? Has it been? Oh yeah, I suppose it looks a bit damp out there. So yeah, let's keep it as wet. Runway heading. It can use 180 down here, but I don't think that's accurate, even though it is runway 18. If I look at the actual, yes, it's 178 degrees is the actual heading, so I'll put that in. Now remember that wind is, if we check on the Metar, it is, I'll refresh that, and we're actually leaving on runway 18, so yep, that's awesome, almost headwind. 180, sorry, 190 for 13, and it has got it in here. Outside air temperature 11 degrees, that's correct. QNH, that is auto, I'll leave that as is. Weight, I need to go back to init, next page, takeoff gross weight, 107.6. So punch that in there as well. 107.6. Flaps will be 15, anti-ice, no, leave it off, it's 11 degrees, it's above 10, so leave that off. Air conditioning, of course, on, and hit calculate. Now, if you get anything that's wrong, or you put the wrong values in, it'll tell you, it's pretty clever. So V1 and V rotate 135 and 136, so I can put those into here, so V1, 135. VR136. Now you see here V2 has got 100. The reason for that is, and you can't change it in here, so what you've got to do is we'll come up here and we'll turn on your damper, we'll turn on pitch trim, and we'll turn on the ATS, which is the most important part. I always turn on all 6, otherwise I'll forget to turn on those 4, but you only need the bottom 2. And that activates this here. So our what's it doing? I need our V2, which is 161. So that comes into here, 161. And our flex was 5.9. Was it 5.9? It was 5.9. Oops. So put that into there. Excellent. Now heading was 178, so I'll chuck that in there. I don't know if you actually need to put the heading in here like you do in the Boeings, but I do anyway. This has more of a Boeing feel to it than an Airbus with the operation. Sort of a mix of both. You can see where Airbus went to the current system setup now versus this. This is obviously taken some inspiration from Boeing when they designed the A300 and A310. And then once the A320 come out, they sort of went their own direction, which is kind of cool. So then we need to put profile on, nav. Flight director is already on, but I always turn it off and then on. ILS into nav, same thing, just off and on basically. Turn on constraints. I want terrain on as well. These brightnesses are a little bit not quite bright. We'll get some light in here, just a little bit. Also, I need to turn on the overheads. For some reason, the dial's down here, which is kind of weird and annoying. Excellent. Okay, so we're half done the setup. Okay, so I had forgotten one thing, and that is to check the altitude, which is flight level 380. I mean, I had chosen that altitude anyway, so I should have known. Now, if you're flying this as well, I've seen a lot of people do this to get their altitude. Don't do that. Just get to the nearest 1,000 value, and then left click, hold, and right click, just like that. And now it'll just do it in the thousands. So it's just a handy thing. I know the A320 doing the left hold and right click actually activates that switch. It doesn't. You don't need to do that in this one. It just changes it between hundreds and thousands, which is I discovered by accident, which is kind of cool. So I'll click profile. It must have. Does that come off when you change it? Oh, it does too. Okay, cool. So profile. That's in. QNH 2980 for Frankfurt at present. Awesome. That's not 2980. That is cool. That is in. We are pretty much set up and ready to go. So I assume by now passengers are loaded, and we can get some systems started. So the APU takes ages to start up in this, just saying. So let's get that on first. So get all the fuel pumps on. Just realised I did not have the galley power turned on. The cabin crew will be getting shitty at me for not giving them power. I'm surprised they haven't come forward and said something. Anyway, so get all the fuel pumps on. APU can come on. And then we just hit start. Now turn on the probe heat and window heaters as well. We probably should turn on a beacon. I'll put the strobes onto auto. I won't turn the nav lights on just yet. Smoking should be set to auto. I'm going to get rid of the jetway. That's not the jetway, I want that one there. So close the door, which you can't see moving, but it doesn't matter. Seat belts can come on, and jetway can retract. Goodbye. There it goes. Okay, so down here, our engine, that should be showing APU. Interesting. I don't know how to get the APU screen up. I don't know how to change that. I assume it's none of those buttons at all. Alrighty, so APU has started up. Usually it would, this screen here would change and actually have an APU screen, but I haven't seen the engine screen come up before, so hopefully it means I haven't done something wrong. Anyway, back up to the overhead so we can get the APU bleed on. This is where it gets noisy. There it is. So APU bleed is on, external power can come off, and we can also request the ground power unit be removed. Excellent. So that is all done. Now all we need to do is request pushback, which I can do from here. And we also need to turn off our parking brake, otherwise we'll get some shitty pushback operators. So now we just wait for the pushback to commence. We're pushing back, oh it's loud isn't it? We're pushing back and turning aircraft tail to the left. So coming up this way here. There we go. While that is happening, we can get the engine started. So go to start position A and hit start 2. Everything goes quiet. Sucks the power of the air conditioning to get the engine started up. Okay, once this hits 20, which it will momentarily, there it is, get down there, we'll get engine number 2 up and running. Stop the pushback about there. Maybe to get a park brake on. Awesome. Oh, there we go. There's engine number 2. Started and settled. Is it settled? Yep, it is. Okay, so engine number 1 starting. A loud backing beeper. Shush. And KLM colours too. Interesting. Oh, we had Donata catering. No Lufthansa catering. I think that's LSG. Should be the correct company for catering. Well, how are we going? Can we start number 2? Oh. Number 1 I should say. Yeah we can, 24.8, that's definitely enough. Starting engine number 1. So turn the nav lights on to number 2. I'll also get a taxi light on here while I have got AI radio comms turned on. So we should already have our taxi instruction, which we do. Awesome, it's pretty much straight out and down. Cool, just waiting for engine number 2 to settle. There it is, pretty much settled actually. And the click, that was the APU switching, the power supply switching over to the engines. So APU bleed can come off, we don't need that. The engine bleed is automatic, as you can see on auto. Oh, that's wing anti-ice. But yeah, this is the bleed in here. You can see that these are going straight through. So APU can come off and turn off the ignition. Oh, some extra noises in the background. Frame rate just absolutely died for a second. I thought the game was going to die. Flaps will go, flaps and slats 15. So this is our flap and slat indicator here. So when these mechanical lines come down to 15, that means you know you've got it right. We probably can arm the speed brake while we're here as well, because otherwise I will forget. And we can go brakes off and let's get out to the runway. So as soon as I took the brakes off, and I haven't even touched the throttle levers. Actually, we are moving excessively fast. I'm just going to check the calibration on these. So I did have a bit of a calibration issue, so I've recalibrated, and that's better. We're not flying off like a rocket as soon as we release the parking brake. So I'll just give it a little bit of power. Probably a little bit more. Once we are moving, we don't actually need to put any power in. It's like having an automatic car. If you don't have the brake on and you have it drive, it'll move forward. So if you haven't flown the A310 yet, this is a shed load of fun, this aircraft. I've really enjoyed this. Alrighty, so here we are at 1.8 thresholds, put the parking brake on. Just check ATC, have they given us, looks like they've given us clearance to take off. 2980, is that what I had in there? Is it what I had in there? It is what I had in there, perfect. So we can get rid of that. Right, so pretty much the same procedure as the A320 family for takeoff. We need landing lights on. We'll turn the nose light into takeoff. We need auto brake set to max. Just double check we have still got speed brake arms. Yes, we have, and everything's all good up here. Seatbelts are on. Strobe on auto, beacon, nav. Everything all looks good. I can't see anything on that shouldn't be, or anything off rather that shouldn't be. Let's head out to the runway. Speed set. Altitude set, heading set. Awesome. So she's not quite as smooth as the A320 family in takeoff in the simulator, but I think this might be more realistic than the other aircraft I do have anyway. Actually, I shouldn't say might be, it definitely is. Sweet, so there's no flex, and this one is just, it has got a toga function. So we go nose in just a little bit, and then we go up to around, it has to be over 40%, so we get it up to, I think it should be about 60. Wait for it to stable, it's still going up. Sweet, that's sitting stable, so then we hit this toga button right here, and it will take us the rest of the way. It's a bit wobbly on the runway. Let's just give it a little bit of nose, not the whole nose. And there's V1, and rotate. Beautiful. Gear coming up. Oh, we're probably going to lift the nose up just a little bit. We'll be climbing, not sitting flat. So once we hit 1500, we'll get autopilot on. There it is, autopilot on, and we'll correct our course. A little bit wobbly on that departure there. We'll get some lighting sorted too, and then we'll do some flaps. That's a bit better. Okay, we can lose the flaps, so we just leave slats just to get our speed up a bit. break through this cloud. It's overcast down to 1,700 feet, so we should break through pretty soon. There it is. Straight up to a beautiful German winter's day. Cool, so climb to 10,000 and then head up to cruise altitude. What I have forgotten, and I always forget this when I'm flying like this, is the squawk 4374. So let's put the squawk in before ATC starts going nuts on me. So 4374. And we'll ident that one. It should keep ATC happy. There we go, cleared through Charlie airspace. Excellent. So just ignore ATC. I'm not going to use it at all, apart from just letting them know where I am. We can lose that slack now as well. We can also disarm speed brakes. There we go. Cool, so there is 10,000, so landing lights can come off, and they can lose the takeoff nose light as well. Excellent, right, I will be back once we reach our cruise altitude, and then following that it will be top of descent, approach, final and landing. So I'll see you in about 28,000 feet. Right, we are just coming up to the cruise altitude. I'm just another couple hundred feet. The aircraft is doing some realigning at the moment. Oh, of course, just a bit. No, it's just doing this weird alignment. Anyway, so cruise is 380, so that's pretty much where we are. One thing I didn't do, and I didn't do on purpose because I was going to do close to the end of the flight, but I'm going to do it now, is enter the ILS information. So we already have got our star in there, so you can see that we're going to be coming in on the Loga 2H airway, all the way through there. So that's already in there. I don't think you would usually put that information until you are closer to your arrival airport, because winds can change. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do it just like we usually do in the game, where we select it at the start. So if I go onto here, you'll see I've got the chart for London Heathrow, and it is the 27 left, the ILS and DME runway information. So if I go on there, I can see that ILS frequency is 109.5, so I'm going to put that in here. So 109 past it, 0.5, and then that other information. So we do enter that on the heading of 271, and then if I go up here, missed approach, climb straight ahead. So our exit will also be 271. So I'll just put that in there as well. Cool, so that's ILS done. We just need to activate that when we do come into Heathrow. So more on the, now, as I did say before, I'm not a pilot, so I'm not entirely sure if this is accurate, what I am saying. But so we enter approach 271 degrees as our heading. We also exit that at 271. This is for missed approach. Climb straight ahead when passing 1,080 feet, or D0 decimal 0, which is the waypoint on the way out. Whichever is later, climbing, turn left on track 149 to 2,000, and then climb that delay to 3,000, then as directed. So that is our go-around procedure. Our initial go-around altitude will be 2,000 for 3,000, so I'll probably put 3,000 in as the go-around altitude when we are coming in on approach. So I'm just going to double check that it is 109.5. Yes, it is, and we've got 109.5 punched in 271. Cool. So that is the ILS loaded, and we are pretty much set up and ready just to cruise the rest of the flight. So I'm just going to double check some weather in England, or sorry, in London right now, and it is 11 degrees and clear, so no rain, which is nice. We no cloud on arrival at present. 10 knot wind, which is nothing this beautiful bird can't handle, and we are coming in on 27 left, so we changed the runway. There we go. So hopefully that wind does hold there, because I'm not going to be changing the flight plan during this flight at all, and it can be done. I have done it, but that is sort of a little bit more advanced than for a YouTube video. So I will come back to you at top of descent, which this is about an hour-long flight, so I don't know how long it's going to be. Momentarily, moments for you guys, because I'm going to jump cut, obviously. But in the meantime, enjoy a couple of minutes of music and some external views.
Got drunk off your life, and I lost myself again. You hit just like a drug. This time I won't let you in. You're playing with fire, no hiding on the break. But this time I won't collide like I did yesterday. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give in, I can't give in, I won't give in this time. You broke my heart once again. With your breath and your breath for me. I can't give in, I can't give in. I've already run with the wolves. Far from the light of the day. I can't go back to you, I'm stronger today. Been to the dark side, I don't know. So if you wanna shoot far away, I won't go back to you, I'm stronger, I'm stronger.
Alrighty, so we're almost at top of descent now. Now because I'm flying without ATC intervention, I'm pretty much going to make my own way down to the ground. We're getting close to 160 miles away. Now being a heavy aircraft, I want to use the rule of 4, not the rule of 3, as in 160 miles away we want to be no higher than 40,000 feet. We are at flight level 380, so what I will do is I'll start slowing us down. So we're at 254, so 240 is the magic number for this aircraft, I think. So slow it down to there, similar to the A320 where it goes down to 242 knots to begin descent for approach. And then once we've reached that speed, I will then start descending us down. That is still over, we haven't crossed the English Channel yet, of course, because we will be descending while we cross that. Just another little couple of miles. About there, excellent. So our first, we'll go down to flight level 220 initially, and we'll do that at 1500 feet per minute. So it's a little bit slower and get the nose down, but as you can see on the dial here, this is our vertical speed indicator. It should go up to 1500, which is this mark here. It took me ages to get used to this, and not having it on the side of the display here. But it's overshooting. Oh, it'll correct itself. Cool. Sweet, and I will see you at flight level 220. We are at 220 and we're about 100 nautical miles away from Heathrow, so I have come down too low too soon, but that's okay. We'll just sit here at 220 for a little while. We have got the English coastline coming into view up ahead of us right there, so we're not too far away at all. We'll go down to 16,000 for the Sabre Airway, and we'll do that at 1200 feet per minute, because we are still a little too low, a little too far out. That's okay, we'll slowly get ourselves down to 16, and then from there we should start our approach. So once we reach around 16,000 feet, I'll contact Heathrow and ask them for landing clearance. We are coming up to Sabre on the map, if I can find the button, there it is. So we wanted to be 16,000 feet or higher, I think, at Sabre. But we want to be at 7,000 feet to go on to approach up here at land. So we'll do that. Head down to 7,000, and we'll do that at 1,200 feet per minute. See how it goes. We've got 40. It's over 35 miles to drop 8,000 feet. So it's plenty of time and distance to do that. We are approaching 10,000 feet. We've also reduced the speed down to 220 in preparation to start putting out flaps, which we'll do just before, probably around 30 miles away. In the meantime, our landing lights could come on. We've already got the seatbelts on. Seatbelts went on at around flight level 210, but I wasn't recording at the time. But it's, I mean, you know when seatbelts go on, it's not important. Oh, that's not seatbelts, it's strobes. Seatbelts right there. Excellent, so check where we're at. So we're 40 miles away at just about 10,000, so that's actually perfect. Aiming for 7,000 at this waypoint here, and then we'll drop down to 3,000 for final. We are at 7,000, going to drop our speed right down to 205, and actually going to put in first notch of slats, so 15 degrees of slats, and then we will drop our altitude down to 3,000 for final, and we're going to do that at 1,200 feet per minute, just so we can get our speed down. Our speed's already down, awesome. We are down almost 4,000 feet, so I'm going to start putting out more flaps. Where's my speed there? So I'll go down to 185. I'll go flaps 15. Flaps 15, slats 15. I'm doing 185 because I know that there should be a speed restriction. In fact, it should show us here. Oh, it's not. But I know there is a speed restriction. I think it is 185 at this part of the approach. It's got Greater London in front of us, or London City, sort of a rendition of it. I recognise a few buildings, the Shard, the Gherkin, there's a radio or something, there's one that looks like it's fallen over. It's like an apocalypse has hit London. Interesting, we should have London City Airport behind us somewhere. Where is it? Oh, is it out of... There it is. London City, where we will do not have a shit show in hell of landing an A310 there. And we also have diminishing frame rate. Should have been my channel name, diminishing frame rate. I'm just going to reduce our descent to 500 feet per minute because we're coming in. We've reached 3,000 feet just a little too quickly, but that's okay. And looking at the weather at present, see if we can update. So as of 13 minutes ago, you can see that it is 11 degrees centigrade, clearing showers, no cloud, even though I can see cloud and rain right in front of me. Interesting. No cloud detected. Well, I can see it. QNH2950, 12 knot wind, which won't be an issue with this aircraft, I don't think. Cool. See our vertical diamond has started coming down, and the horizontal should make its way across. In fact, there it goes. Coolness. So there's no locator or approach button. As you can see, there is just this one that says land. So that does both functions. So they might not coincide at the same time. If the vertical diamond hits our glide slope bar first, I will actually click land now. And then hitting land will align both diamonds. See, it's going to adjust itself. Speed, we're going to get down to 160 now. We'll let it start coming down to 160 because it takes a little bit of time to slow down. There goes those diamonds. They're also just starting to align now, which is nice. We'll drop the nose just a little bit, get us down. See 27 left directly in front of us. Flaps to flaps and slats to 20. They'll be at 30, 40 for landing. Now, one thing I didn't do through the entire flight, and I just noticed while I was off camera before, I didn't lock the landing gear. So that's landing gear down. So let's gear up. It's gear locked, which it should be for the duration of the flight. And then I am going to put gear down. Come down so slow. There we go, gear down. We should have 3 in the green, 1, 2, 3 we do. Brakes will be set to auto brake set to medium. I lost my words for a second. And we will get our speed down to landing. So I like to land at around 145. Seems to be a decent landing speed. And once it gets down to about 155, we'll drop the final flaps onto 30-40 and do some checks. So we should have landing clearance. Do they give us a landing clearance? I'm cleared to land. 230 at 12, that's actually accurate. Cool. So flaps out to full. Now the aircraft will take its own course down onto the runway. There's not too much else we have to do, which I like. So just double check. Oh, spoilers need to be armed. Luckily I do the checklist. Landing lights are all on. Seat belts are on. We'll have to get the nose light on. Everything else is looking good. We just have to touch down. So we're a little bit high, but it will bring us down. So pretty much all I have to do on touchdown is disable the, I've got to reduce the throttle, disable the autopilot and get the reverses on.
400.
Is that 400 or several hundred?
300.
It was 400, of course. So I'm not touching the controls right now. Well, I am, but I'm not doing anything with them. So I'll
50, 40, 30,
drop throttle and it should.
10, 5.
There it is. Oop, bit wobbly. And manual braking. And reduce stow. What was I saying? Stow reverses. Awesome. Welcome to London. So that was a pretty cool landing. I have to say I'm happy with that. The aircraft did do most of the work, of course. But let's get off the runway and we'll get to a gate. So we're going to go to Terminal 3. In the meantime, I'm going to turn some lights off. We don't need the strobe on at all anymore, and the nav lights can come off as well. And we will get an APU started up, so APU and on. Now I need to find Terminal 3, which is... Which way do we... Oh yeah, so 5, 4... Oh, it's right in front of us. So we'll go straight ahead, and we'll turn in here and go right around into the inside. So this is the bespoke Heathrow airport that comes with the premium deluxe version of the game. That's why the buildings look a little less concretey. I'm just going to find a gate. I did check ATC before, and yes, it did vector me to the freight terminal. So I'm going to ignore that. I think I'm going to choose this one here where the red thing is. With all the vehicles, that'll do. Oh, just going to turn tightly into there. Excellent. So before I do that, I want to turn the APU bleed on, and we want to turn off engine 2 and engine 1. I did already apply the brakes. We can turn the beacon off. Now we can go over to the this here. We'll go door open and jetway. And also ground power unit as well. So jetway should be coming across. There it goes. We'll go external power on, and we can kill the seatbelts as well. Now that the door's open too, we can get the APU off, because we no longer need that. We can turn off the fuel pumps as well. Galley power. I don't know what that means. Oh, I'll just leave it. I'm pretty sure that does mean supply power to the galley, perhaps? Not sure. Anyway, fuel pumps off. We'll pretty much turn off everything that we turned on, apart from the batteries. Excellent. So that is us. Welcome to London Heathrow, everyone. Thank you for joining in and following along. Really do appreciate the support. And if you want to check out live streams, just jump into the schedule on the channel. We're live streaming every Thursday night and Sunday morning Australian Eastern Standard Time. So whatever time that is in your part of the world, just check out the schedule. I usually have the stream scheduled at least the week before they kick off, but also I do chuck in some community posts into the channel for updates as well. So I hope you enjoyed the flight, and do hope to see you again in the future.